Hello everyone. Am I audible and visible? Please. Okay. Thank you very much, Banu. All right. So let me start with a brief description about me, and then we will proceed with certain items. Okay. My name is Rajiv Chauhan, and I have graduated from one of the top engineering college of this land, and then after my BTech I went to London to work for HSBC. I worked there for 2 years. After that I came back to India, and uh, I started UPSC preparation, and in UPSC I gave 4 consecutive interviews. And after that, for the last approximately 7 years, I have been teaching UPSC aspirants. So this is brief about me. Slowly you will learn more about me as we progress through our overall curriculum. Okay. Now, today is this session of economics. But before we go in this economics part, I would like to talk about such few more things. Okay. Because in UPSC, because forget about UPSC, the moment you took a decision, okay, the moment you have taken a decision that you have to do certain thing, आपने जिस दिन decision लिया कि मुझे कुछ करना है, the work could be anything. You chose UPSC, but without knowing exactly what UPSC is, or for that matter, what that possible work is that you chose to dive into, without understanding that, diving into it is very risky. So the first and foremost thing of a very good decision is to know what you are doing. आपको जानना है कि आप कर क्या रहे हो. Got it? So since you guys have made the decision for UPSC, so you are welcome. Of course, you must have thought about everything related to UPSC. But as a teacher, it is my prime duty to make you understand certain things, the delicacies of your UPSC exam. Okay. So what we are going to do, I will talk about that. Then we will have an open session. You can ask question in the chat box, and I will respond to all of your queries. Fine. तो आज ही बहुत लोड नहीं लेते कि let's start with you economics all together. Okay. Let's first talk about certain things. Then we will jump to our syllabus part. Now, first thing first. The entire UPSC, you must be knowing the process. There is a preliminary examination, there is a mains examination, and then there is an interview stage. Okay. So preliminary examination, 2 papers are there. One is CSAT, other one is general studies. CSAT is qualifying in nature. Okay. You have to score just 66 marks out of 200 marks, and you will be deemed as qualified. Okay. And as far as general studies is concerned, you will have 100 questions, 2 marks is 1/3 negative, and cutoff is somewhat around 97, 98, 99, and 100. In the last 3 years, it has been the trend. Okay, so आप 100 number से ऊपर लाते हो तो आप easily clear कर सकते. This is the normal trend. Okay, so and how many students qualify in preliminary stage? Almost UPSC call 10,000 students for mains purpose. Okay, in mains, total number of papers are 4 paper general studies, 2 paper optional, 1 essay, 1 English, and 1 Hindi. Okay, Hindi and English is qualifying in nature. Means if you scored more than 25% marks or 25% marks for that matter, you will be deemed as qualified. Fine. So उसमें कोई fail नहीं करता है. Second, अब आया general study. General studies has 4 papers, 250 marks each, so it is 1000. Optional 2 paper, 250 marks each, it is 500 marks. So 1500 marks and 250 marks essay. Okay, so total 1750 marks. Okay, so based on UPSC's assessment, you will be called for personality test. Normally whatever UPSC prescribe, whatever UPSC every year the number of vacancy is different. Okay, sometimes it is 800, sometimes 900. There was this time when the 1260 vacancy was also there. Okay, it depends on the needs and requirement of union government. Based on that, वो सीट ऊपर नीचे करते हैं. So whatever is the number of seat, if let's say number of seat is 1000, then multiply it by 2.5. Okay, that many number of people will be called for interview. Got it? And interview is 275 marks. Okay, now they will club mains plus interview. जिनका टॉप में नाम आ जाता है वो पास कर जाते हैं. So this is what it is. So what is the general cutoff? In general, what is the cutoff? If you ask me this question, then general cutoff of mains examination is if you score 55% number, you will be all India rank 1. Okay, if you score 53% marks overall, including mains plus interview, then you will be all India rank 1. Okay, तो ये सब चीज जानना जरूरी है, and I believe that you guys know about this sort of things. Fine, चलिए. Now, let's come to general studies. General studies is the biggest portion of your syllabus. And general studies is there in prelims, general studies there in mains, and so many questions will be asked in your interview as well. Now, so general studies is divided in 4 your papers. Okay. So, what and all constitute these 4 papers? Can anyone suggest me? कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि पेपर 1 में क्या है? Anyone? Don't hesitate. If you more you interact, better you become. Okay? Tell me what. Even if it is wrong, doesn't matter. Why I'm here? I'm here to fix your problems, nah? So don't worry. Okay, Rohit wrote. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. And what about paper 2? Paper 2 में क्या क्या आता है? Respond. Let's make it an interactive session. It is very easy कि मैं आपको पढ़ाना स्टार्ट कर दूं, but जब तक समझेंगे नहीं चीजों को तब तक डायरेक्ट पढ़ने में वो मजा नहीं है. ठीक है? Polity, okay? Fair. देखिए, Indian polity and governance, that's right. And what does paper 3 include? Okay, paper 3. That's right. Paper 3 में ये सब आता है. And what is paper 4? Ethics. That's right. Thank you very much. So let's see. Let me put it this way. Paper 1. See, UPSC never does anything without logic. They have framed the syllabus with certain thing in their mind. जो syllabus बनाया तो कुछ ना कुछ चीज उसके दिमाग में था, जहन में था, तब बनाया वो इस तरह का syllabus. So unless and until you don't understand the mind of UPSC, you will never be very good at the examination. Let me tell you one more thing. Before I go in the syllabus, I would like to tell you one thing. UPSC is a complete black box. Now, what is the characteristic of black box? Black box is something that something will happen, input will be there, output will be there. How the things are processed, you will never know. एक black box जो होता है उसमें input पता चलेगा क्या है, output भी है क्या पता चलेगा, लेकिन उसके अंदर क्या हुआ, what is the configuration, what is the technology, how it worked, no one knows. This is the reality of UPSC. If some teacher, some toppers, or whosoever it might be, okay, if they claim to know the internal functioning of UPSC, remember that they are lying to you, because every 2 years UPSC change its consultant and UPSC change its process. This is known by everyone. So अगर इतना जल्दी हर चीज को चेंज करता है तो ये नहीं बताया जा सकता कि आज का सिस्टम क्या है. Secondly, for example, you have written a paper. आपने पेपर लिख दिया, you have written mains answer. UPSC awarded you mark. On what basis they awarded the mark? What is the marking scheme that how this process goes by? How this process UPSC, what process UPSC adopted? In reality, no one knows. And there was this time when many people went to Chief Information Commission. Okay, Chief Information Commission के पास कुछ लोग चले गए. And that Chief Information Commission told the UPSC that it is the right of the candidate to know about your the marks that they have received in the manner they have received the mark. So they are entitled to receive their answer script. CIC ने बोला था in the year 2013. But let me tell you, UPSC went to High Court, UPSC went to Supreme Court. Finally, they won the case, and present status is no one knows. UPSC doesn't give you the answer script. किसी को नहीं मिलता. So from where the question are picked, how this answers are evaluated, what is the marking scheme, किसी को भी पता नहीं. ठीक है? And I told you, every 2 years they change the rule completely. Now, coming back to our point, that syllabus, I was talking about syllabus. So when you are talking about syllabus, so paper 1 is geography, society, history, culture. Geography, society, history, culture, ये सब paper 1. Paper 2, polity, constitution, governance, and international relation. Paper 3, economics, internal security, science and technology, and the last part is your क्या कहते हैं अपना environment ecology. And paper 4 is your ethics. Now, why UPSC has designed this sort of syllabus? Why certain subjects are clubbed together? Why certain subjects are left apart? कुछ तो logic होगा. What I told you, that UPSC never does anything out of logic. So, from this syllabus, they want to tell you certain things. They want an aspirant to understand certain thing and what that thing could be. Okay, so remember, the first thing that UPSC want you to understand is the idea of India. They want you to understand India in and out. Idea of India समझाने की कोशिश करता है. Now, when you talk about the idea of, let's talk about me. When you talk about the idea of Rajiv Chauhan, then you have to analyze certain things. You have to analyze his physical appearance. You have to analyze his educational background. You have to analyze his aspirations. You have to analyze his strengths, weaknesses. You have to analyze ethics, so many things. Similarly, on the same line, if you see paper one tells you that who India is. Paper one tells you who India is. Through geography, through history, they want to tell you what is the history of India, from where this India came, from where this people came, what was the struggle of India throughout the annals of the civilization in the last your approximately 4,500 years, from the times of Indus Valley till the time of COVID. इतिहास बताता है, हिस्ट्री बताता है. History and culture runs hand in hand. Then you talk about culture, the culture of India. India is culture. We call it India is culturally most diverse, this diverse country in the world. India कहा जाता है कि वर्ल्ड का सबसे डाइवर्स कंट्री है. There must be some logic behind it. What are those logics? कुछ तो होगा. If you go from श्रीनगर से चलो, श्रीनगर से आओ, श्रीनगर culture is different. Then you came to Punjab culture is different, Haryana different, Delhi different, UP different, Madhya Pradesh different. नीचे चलते जाओ, मराठा different, नीचे और चलते जाओ, कन्नड़ different, and so many. They have different culture. They have completely custom, cuisine, clothing. Everything is different. So this culture को बोलता है जानो. Then society. What is Indian society? What kind of family system do we have? What is the system of marriage? System of marriage in India is different than system of marriage in the West. India में marriage को बहुत sacrosanct कहा जाता है, but America में वो टूट जाता है. It is more like a contract. तो अलग है, क्या है, देखना पड़ेगा, समझना पड़ेगा. Got it? तो culture के बारे में बता. Then geography, that where is India located in the world? How it's, what is its shape? What mineral and resources does India have? All these things you study in geography. So if you analyze it critically, if you analyze, see it, visualize it, and analyze it, you will realize that paper one tells you who India is. If you read paper one, you can easily tell anyone that who India is through its history, through its culture, through its geography, through its society. Now let's jump to paper number 2. Paper 2 में क्या है? Constitution, polity, governance, international relations. Now this paper 2 tells you the how segment. How means how India functions. If I asked you this question, that what is constitution? Okay, I know that you have not read constitution. Even if people would have read constitution, still they tend to give answer in a very technical sense. Don't make it technical. The best part of learning, best part of understanding things is to understand in the most simplest way, in the simplest language as possible. So if you ask me what is constitution, I can give you a very technical definition as well. But I would like to give you a very simple definition that you could understand. Okay? Constitution is nothing but a rule book. ये एक rule book type है. Got it? Rule book means, for example, game of football, football to chhod do, cricket is a game that every Indian knows a lot about, right? हर Indian को अच्छे से पता होता है cricket के बारे में. So well, let's talk about cricket a bit. When we talk about cricket, what do we know? There is a rule of the bowler, rule of the batsman, rule of the fielding, catches, no ball, LBW, all these things. Every single person abide by the rule. If the game of cricket would have no rule, the game of cricket would not have been a game but a mess or anarchy. Mess होगा या anarchy होगा, ठीक है? क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने मारा, आउट हो गया, and I say कि नहीं, मैं नहीं मानूंगा. This is not out. That cannot happen, right? So rule is something that make people disciplined. Rule is something that establish credential. Rule is something that regulate everyone. Similarly, constitution is a rule where everyone is regulated. Modi is the prime minister, very powerful. He is regulated by constitution. He cannot go beyond constitution. Supreme Court is very powerful. But Supreme Court, even Supreme Court cannot go beyond constitution. Constitution के beyond आप नहीं जा सकते. Beyond constitution you cannot go. And similarly, the parliamentarian cannot go constitution. Police cannot go. Army cannot go. We cannot go. Everyone has certain powers, certain rights, certain duties, directives, and likewise. Though this aspect, the constitution tells you that how India operates itself. India operates itself through a book called Constitution. How India behave with its neighbor, because India is not just one country in the world. Along with India, there are more than 200 odd countries as well. So what kind of relationship do we have? What kind of commitment does India have with other countries? This we read, function kaise karta hai India. This we read where? We read in international relation. पूरा पेपर 2 अगर आप देखो, it tells you how India function, the how aspect of idea of India tells you. Now let's jump to paper number 3. Third paper में अगर हम चलते हैं, ठीक है? Now paper number 3 क्या क्या है? पहला चीज economics, science tech, internal security and likewise. देखो, paper 3 tells you that what is the aspirations of India. India का aspiration क्या है? What is the aspiration of India? For example, Prime Minister Modi said that we will make India $25 trillion economy by 2024-25. What is this? This is the aspiration of India. ये जैसे for example, your aspiration is to become an IAS officer. Someone's aspiration might be become an army officer. So every person, 99% of the people you will find are aspirational in nature. The one who is in class 10th, aspiration is to graduate. सबका एस्पिरेशन रहता है, वैसे ही क्या इंडिया का एक एस्पिरेशन है. इकोनॉमी टेल्स यू द एस्पिरेशनल पार्ट एंड हाउ दिस एस्पिरेशन विल बी अचीव्ड. Aspiration will be achieved through the instrument of technology. I'll give you one more example. We are not scientists, and I believe that you guys are also not scientists. Fine. So, if we talk about your Chandrayaan mission, last to last year, India was about to land चंद्रयान मिशन में लैंड करना था मून पे, but it was an unsuccessful mission. Unsuccessful mission now. But entire India was sad. Normal people also who come to know about it, they were sad. It was broadcasted on television like nothing, like something extremely big has happened. Okay, why? The reason is that every Indian's aspiration was associated with that mission. We also wanted to be in that uh, coveted group of the countries which have done something like this. और जिस साइड से इंडिया गया था, इंडिया पहला कंट्री होता जो वो कर पाता, फर्स्ट कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड. So this is aspiration. ये aspirational aspect होता है. पेपर 1 who are you बताता है. पेपर 2 how you function बताता है. पेपर 3 what is your aspiration बताता है. Now let's come to paper 4. Previously paper 4 was not part of the syllabus. This paper 4 was added in the year 2013. When syllabus changed, pattern changed, everything changed in 2013. So paper 4. अब देखो, no society or no country ever survived without strong moral fiber. It was history suggests that any country which have junked, which have left their ethical and moral values, they within decades they decimated to ground. The great Roman Empire, at that time Roman Empire was so big and so powerful and so civilized that people were of the view that this empire will last till the end of the history. ऐसा कहा जाता था, जब तक धरती रहेगा तब तक ये रोमन एम्पायर रहेगा. बट व्हाट हैपेंड, ये कहावत है, आपने सुना भी होगा. इफ यू आर अ लवर ऑफ लिटरेचर यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड दैट Nero was playing flute when Rome was burning. Nero was playing flute when Rome was burning. Who was Nero? Nero was the ruler, the king of Rome. जब पूरा सोसाइटी इधर से उधर तहस नहस हो गया था, उस टाइम में नेरो म्यूजिक बजा रहा था, फ्लूट बजा रहा था, बांसुरी बजा रहा था. क्यों? Because he has utter negligence for their own people. People were dying, some people were killing each other. There was anarchical society, dying, so many things were happening. But वो मजे में था, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता था उसका पीपल को क्या हो रहा है. व्हाट हैपेंड, एंटायर द जो जिस एम्पायर को कहा जाता था द एम्पायर विल लास्ट एज लॉन्ग एज द प्लेनेट विल लास्ट, दैट एम्पायर डेसिमेटेड विद इन फ्यू डेकेड्स. खत्म हो गया कुछ डेकेड में रोमन एम्पायर. व्हाई? बिकॉज ethical values, the moral value was completely eroded. So morality, or remember, no history, even the greatest of greatest kingdom or country never survived where there is erosion of values. So ethics tells you that what is the value of India. Where there is a problem in values, what more could be done so that we can bring the ethical value back to the center stage. बीच में लाने का फिर से ethics वो चैप्टर बताता है, वो एंगल इंडिया का बताता है, मोरल साइड का वैल्यू. बिकॉज रिमेंबर, नो पर्सन कैन सर्वाइव विदाउट वैल्यूज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू टेक माई एग्जाम्पल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, idea of me, number 1, who am I? My father's name is this, I came from XYZ village, this is my history. For example, when I came to your this session, what did I do? I told you something about myself first. Because without telling you who am I, you will never enjoy the lecture. So सबसे पहले who? Now, how do I function? I function by the rule of society, written, unwritten rule. Then what is my aspiration? कुछ तो होगा, मैं चाहता हूँ कुछ बनूं. And then what is my value? What is my moral value? So this is what UPSC want you to understand through this 4 segmentation. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Idea of India. And what kind of understanding they want? देखो, there is a pyramid. एक pyramid होता है. The lowest rung of the pyramid, that is like information. There is plethora of data in the world. We don't understand all data. We understand only those data which is of our utility. So पहले information होता है नीचे. उससे ऊपर होता है people who has information are the most inferior mind. Remember, people who hold information, they are most inferior mind. उससे ऊपर वाला का होता है your understanding. Information lowest rung. उससे ऊपर क्या है? Just a level above that is your understanding. Means, do you understand the information? Understanding is also not a big thing. उसके ऊपर होता है analysis. ज्यादा mental faculty का बात कर रहा है. The people who has the ability to analyze has more mental strength compared to people who understand only. और analysis के ऊपर होता है critically analyze. Or critical analysis. Critical analysis is the highest function of mind. Okay? So UPSC want you to understand idea of India in that critical analysis way. Why I am saying this with such confidence? Reason is, and I'm when you attend my classes, you would know that I don't speak anything without evidence. Okay? Without evidence, I don't say anything. If you go and check previous year question papers, okay, you will find 2 words most frequent, that they will ask you a question, then put a full stop and say critically analyze or comment. Critically analyze, comment. Critically analyze, comment. ये वाला देखेंगे आप maximum question में होता है. Critically analyze the role of Prime Minister office in the context of globalization. Every time you will find, most of the time, not every time, most of the time you will find critically analyze. That is, and critically analyze, I told you, is the highest faculty of our mind. Fine. अब है कि critically analyze सबसे top पे है. UPSC भी वही पूछता है. Comment and critically analyze most of the time. Got it? So it is important for you to understand the simple in the critical way. Okay? Because tomorrow you are going to become bureaucrat. You are the one who is going to make policy. You are the one who would be going to suggest the prime minister of this country. Prime minister को आप suggest करोगे. So if you are such person, then if your mental faculty, if you are a person of mental faculty, of lower mental faculties, then क्या decision होगा? Decision will be mediocre. You will never be able to solve problems for the country. क्योंकि आपको country personal life में नहीं है problem, वो country के problem issue solve करेंगे आप. So you need that kind of mind. That's why from the beginning itself, UPSC is training you for such thing, and UPSC is picking those people who have that faculties. Okay, and remember, all the faculties are learnable. Everything could be developed. Got it? So this is what the story is about, the syllabus. I wanted you to understand. Economics क्या है? Economics तो मैं समझा दूंगा, उसमें नहीं है. But understand things in perspective. Without understanding things in perspective, nothing better could come. Got it? Now, since paper economics is in paper 3, and today is a demonstration class for economics. So briefly, let's discuss little bit about economics, the introductory part. Okay, then we will move towards other things. देखते हैं, एक open discussion करेंगे, ठीक है? Two questions are there. What is economics? And why in recent times economic as an academic discipline and economist as a profession has gained huge prominence? We will try to answer these two questions. Fine. We will answer these two questions and then we will talk. I will remove some of your queries. Fine. पढ़ने का तो क्या है कि पढ़ते रहेंगे, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं। देखो, economics क्या है? Economics is not a new subject. It's a very old subject. So economics is actually made up of two Greek terms, oikos and nomos. When you club this oikos and nomos, you will get economics. Fine. So what is the meaning of the word oikos? The meaning of the word oikos is household, ghar. And the meaning of the nomos is management. So when you club these two terms, that is household management. Okay. Now this is the definition. This is the definition given by Aristotle. Aristotle ने इस definition को दिया 2500 years ago. This definition was forwarded by Aristotle that economics is nothing but science of household management. Okay. This is the most simplest definition of economics. We will make it little complex, but let's first try to understand this. For example, please listen to this example very carefully. इस example को अच्छे से समझिए आप, ठीक है? तो मान लेते हैं. For example, there are two families, family A and family B. Please listen to this point very carefully because I'm needing you some support from your side. Okay, family A and family B. Family A is both like both the families are like हम दो हमारे दो, wife, husband, and two children. Four-membered family, family A. Four-membered family, family B. In the year 2010, just imagine, in the year 2010, both family A and family B, his monthly income is, let's say, 10,000 rupees. Okay, and both the bread earner from both the family, they never lost job. They had this salary more or less same throughout. Okay, salary unka sab same hi tha, maan lo. In the year 2020, if this both the family would be analyzed, family analyze करते हो तो फिर let's imagine family A owns a 2 BHK flat, owns the 2 BHK flat. Family A has four-wheeler, एक कार है, छोटा सा कार है, let's say Swift car है. And the children go to a good school. Both the children go to good school. Now let's come to family B. Family B lives in a 2 BHK rented apartment. Family B owns a motorcycle. And families B children go to the same school as does the family A. Based on this example, what would you say? Which family's economy is good? Family A or family B? बताइए मुझे थोड़ा जवाब दीजिए. Tell me. Don't hesitate. Okay. A. That's right. Because economics is what? Economics is the science of household management. Now the question is, who managed their house very well? तो अब देखो, दोनों का सैलरी सेम था, इंक्रीमेंट सेम हुआ, सब चीज सेम हुआ, टाइम पीरियड सेम, लाइबिलिटी सेम, बट फैमिली ए created wealth, family B was not able to create wealth. So any country's economy will be better compared to any other country's economy because they manage their resource very well. For example, India and China both more or less got independence at the same time. India is $2.8 trillion economy and China is $13.5 trillion economy. Got it? North Korea and South Korea both got independence at the same time. South Korea is one of the developed countries in the world and North Korea is one of the poorest countries in the world. How? Management of their household. Resource उसको कैसे मैनेज किया वो डिटरमाइन करता है, तो नहीं कर पाया. तो your opulence dependent on how you manage things. ठीक है, चलो अब देखो. अब ये तो हमने सबसे सिंपलेस्ट डेफिनेशन एरिस्टोटल ने जो बोला वो बताया. ठीक है. अब व्यू ऑफ एडम स्मिथ. एडम स्मिथ इज कॉल्ड द फादर ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स. So now what father of economics has to say about economy? Adam Smith says that economics, he gave more comprehensive definition, precise and comprehensive. Okay, that economics is the science of wealth creation. The one who is capable of creation of wealth, they are better off in terms of economics. For example, family A, they created more wealth with the same income. Means their management, their science was very good, but the science of family B was not at all good. Got it? So wealth creation बोला. चलो ये बहुत अच्छा definition, बड़ा definition, and better than what Aristotle gave. Now let's come to the latest definition. Okay, latest definition is that the most recent view जो है वो Lionel Robbins, he was a very famous economist who gave the definition. It says that economics is the science of human being and its end. ठीक है? How people means human being का relationship, उसका जो aspiration है उससे. Now this definition is very technical and very broad level. Now what does this? Well, resources are limited. Populations as people's aspirations are not limited. Today, if I have nothing, I will seek bicycle. Tomorrow, if I buy bicycle, I will aspire for a bike. Bike, then a car. Car, then a bigger car. Bigger car means अब बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा हो गया तो तब 5-10 car. So economics is a science बोलता है, which try to study this human aspiration or behavior to that of the resources available. इसके बीच का साइंस, ये बहुत टेक्निकल है. अब देखो, resources are limited, population is huge as well as rising. So how are you going to balance, strike a balance between these two things? This is not a very easy question. This is a tough question. How am I going to balance it? Through economics. Okay. So the latest definition is, it is the science which studies human aspiration or behavior as a relationship between the means, the aspiration and the available resource. Got it? ये लेटेस्ट डेफिनेशन. अब एक और सवाल था, that why economics as an academic discipline, and why economist as a profession has gained in prominence, क्यों इतना बढ़ गया? If I ask you to name some economist, आप बोल दोगे शायद एक दो नाम. If I ask you name some sociologist, you might not. Name some geographer, you might not. एक रीजन है. If you, for example देता हूँ, दो लेवल पे एग्जांपल देता हूँ. If you apply for economics in Delhi University, your cutoff is 100% in some colleges, and in some colleges, if your marks is less than 96-97%, you will not get economics in Delhi University. North campus में नहीं मिलेगा कभी. क्यों? Demand of economic subject is very high. Why the demand of something is very high? Because the job prospect after doing that course is much higher. Now the question is, why job prospect is very high? Because because of this definition of Leonel Robbins, that resources are limited, population is rising. How are you going to balance these two things? How are you going to fulfill the needs and requirement of the burgeoning population? जो बढ़ रहा है इतना population, उसको कैसे उसका need और requirement को fulfill करेंगे? This is the main agenda. That's why there is huge demand. Because who does it? How? What theory? What principle? How allocation of resource will happen? Who does it? Economists does it. That's why. Similarly, if you go to great universities like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, इस तरह का, कभी वेबसाइट पे जाना and just check that what is the course fee. Course fee of geography, course fee of sociology will be very less, and the course fee of economics courses, okay, will be minimum 3 times more compared to any other humanity subject. Now the question is why? Because the demand is very high. Even if they keep the price very high, still people will take it. It's not that people won't take it. People will love to be honors or graduate in economics. Got it? इसीलिए demand बहुत बढ़ गया. मतलब ये this is the trend of demand. और demand क्यों है? Because for example, if you take the example of India, इंडिया का जोग्राफिकल एरिया, वर्ल्ड का जोग्राफिकल एरिया जो है, कितना परसेंट इंडिया? 1.67% के आसपास. पॉपुलेशन कितना है? सॉरी 2.4% के आसपास. पॉपुलेशन कितना है? नियर अबाउट 17%. मींस ओनली दैट मच ऑफ लैंड एरिया एंड सो ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन. कैसे मैनेज हो? हाउ? Who is going to tell it? Who is going to plan it? Who are the planners? All the economists are the planners. They plan, they manage it. That's why the demand of economists is very high, and demand of economics as a discipline is very high. Okay, so this is a brief description of your idea of what is economics. Okay, so let's come back. Now these are the chapters. Okay, this is how we are going to do, and our approach shall be from the very basic to the level of the UPSC. Okay, this is how we are going to go about economics. Okay, and for example, we will first understand general understanding of economics, classification, economic cycle, and आप देख रहे complete syllabus is this. We will go chapter wise, clearing one chapter at a time. We will have an open discussion. Okay, and as far as mains examination is concerned, out of 20 questions, 10 question comes from economics. And in preliminary, what is the relevance? Out of 100 questions in the last 6 years, average number of questions that was asked from economics was 22. 22 was the average. Means that in any given day, you will not get less than 20 questions. 20 is the minimum number of questions that UPSC asks from economics. Okay. And all the questions are conceptual in nature. UPSC never believe in asking your this factual question. Factual question is asked in SSC. Factual question is asked in state PCS, not in UPSC. UPSC concept पे ध्यान देता है. Okay. And means इकोनॉमिक्स की अगर बात करो तो अगर इकोनॉमिक्स पे अच्छा पकड़ है तो आउट ऑफ 22-23 क्वेश्चन यू कैन पिक अप 20-22 में से 90% एक्यूरेसी से आप मार सकते हैं इफ यू हैव गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी विल डू. वी हैव I gave you certain idea about economics. Now I would like you guys to ask questions, okay, so that few of the things that might have popped in your mind, maybe I would be of some help in resolving it. And later on, जब पढ़ेंगे तो फिर पूरा पढ़ाएंगे. ठीक है, तो आप सवाल पूछिए. पूछिए सवाल, यहाँ पे आप लिखेंगे, मैं देख सकता हूँ आपका सवाल. Bhanu, how an engineering fresher student being in the third year? Okay. See, there are two elements. There are two elements of learning. One is your interest towards, rather there are three elements towards learning. One is your interest towards a subject. For example, someone might have interest in business. They might read business news and all these things. Okay. So if you are interested in something, learning become very easy. You read certain books, एक दो book पढ़ोगे, तीन book पढ़ोगे, तुम्हें UPSC level का economics समझ में आ जाएगा. Okay. And another dimension of learning is compulsion, that you have no choice but to read it. You have to understand it. So उस time में understanding बहुत अच्छा नहीं होता है, लेकिन instrumental understanding हो जाता है, जिससे question बन जाता है. एक होता है how you are being taught. If you are being taught in the way that is interesting, that is easy to retain, and it has a very chiseled and integrated at the same time lectures, then it become very interesting. Okay, तो टीचर पे बहुत डिपेंड करता है कि कौन टीचर है, कैसा पढ़ा रहा है, उससे भी आपको इंटरेस्ट आ जाता है. ओके, got it? So role of guide is very high. The role of the guide is very important because see, there are plethora of information. Teacher would say something else. Toppers would say something else. Your friend might say something else. People who are not able to clear this exam, they might say something else. Since there are too many islands where too many sources of information which can confuse you. So reposing your faith on a guide is very instrumental for your learning and right strategy. Because देखो, see, the chance of failure in UPSC is very high. It might sound weird, but yes, that's true. But in my experience, in my opinion, then the chance of failure become high only when your strategy is not good. If you have adopted a nice strategy, good strategy, nothing can stop you from cracking this examination. Remember, as far as strategy is concerned, guides are important, I would say. Important. Okay? क्योंकि इंफॉर्मेशन वहां आपको कंफ्यूज कराने के लिए बहुत होता है चीजें. How can we test ourselves? What are we studying, sir? Through previous year question paper, both prelims and mains. If you do it, then you would know that you are going in the right track. If you're not able to do that, then you have to revisit your strategy. Got it? What best could be? Then UPSC's question paper. UPSC, I told you, is a black box. Only two things that UPSC provide is the question paper and the syllabus. This is the two key with which you can unlock the exam. ठीक है? चलिए और कुछ सवाल? Don't hesitate. You can ask. And the best part is अभी है हमारे पास थोड़ा समय. Any question that comes in your mind, you can ask. I'll be happy to respond to you. Sir, I am also engineering student. How to decide optional? Well, see, optional, I would rather say don't decide optional right now. Don't jump in the territory which is not so much, you are not confident about. Study, rather start this preparation karna shuru karo. After 2 months maybe, or maybe 3 months, 2.5 months, let's say 2 mahine rakh lo, kya jata? After that, then start thinking about there is something called optional. If you are confident about your engineering subject, देखो, science subject has two things. Either they will make you a hero or make you a zero. Hero means you can score 350, 360, 380 out of 500. If you have really good grasp over the subjects, or you will get 250. 250 is complete failure. 350 is top. So if you are really very confident over the science subject, then take this science subject. Otherwise, you should not take science subject. You should take humanity subject. And for humanities, give yourself some space. 2-3 महीना पढ़ो. थोड़ा पॉलिटी पढ़ो, थोड़ा इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ो, थोड़ा हिस्ट्री पढ़ो, थोड़ा ज्योग्राफी पढ़ो, and then decide. Do not decide in haste. Remember it. ठीक है? How to maintain self motivation? देखो, motivation is what you know. Motivation is external. Motivation is never internal. हम लोग को वो external चीज होता है. For example, why I am saying it is external. For example, if everything goes well, सब काम कर रहे हैं, हो रहा है, अच्छे से हो रहा है, then something bad happen. आपके फैमिली में हो जाए, आपके साथ हो जाए, आपके दोस्त के साथ हो जाए, कुछ हो जाए प्रॉब्लम, उसके कारण से क्या हो जाएंगे आप? डीमोटिवेट हो जाएंगे. Means external factor is playing with your internal thing, that is motivation. That's the reason why I said it feels that motivation is inside. No, motivation is always outside. Today you will be motivated, tomorrow you will be demotivated. It is the case with every single person. नरेंद्र मोदी सबसे सक्सेसफुल आदमी है इंडिया में आज के डेट में. फ्रॉम नथिंग टू मोस्ट पावरफुल प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन गया. पॉपुलर भी है वो. क्या वो डिमोटिवेट नहीं होता होगा? वो भी डिमोटिवेट, उसको फ्रस्ट्रेशन होता है. बिकॉज मोटिवेशन इज ऑलवेज एक्सटर्नल. रिमेंबर इट. So don't become a person of motivation. Become a person of discipline. Discipline is inside. Discipline पे आपका 100% कमांड है. तो सुबह उठना है, शाम में ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना. This is completely you. So become a person of discipline, not a person of motivation. Junk this idea of motivation. दो चीज imbibe करो, discipline and inspiration. Get inspired from idea. Get inspired from big people. वो आपको constant एक direction देता है. उसके साथ साथ आप discipline करो, you will end up becoming like him or even bigger than him. Become that person. Do not become the person of motivation. Anyone who rely too much on the motivation actually end up being failure. This is my suggestion. Okay. और कोई सवाल या रैप अप किया जाए? So चलिए, thank you everyone, and this time, हाँ पूछो भानु, not an issue. Yes, go ahead. Yes, Bhanu, take your 1 minute. Not an issue. Okay. In between, anyone else could ask question as well. If I go for humanities optional, student from engineering background, will it cause issue at the time of interview? No, not at all. Not at all, Bhanu. I am an engineering graduate. I had computer science as my course, so computer science is not available. But still, I would have taken physics, chemistry, mathematics, anything. But I did not take. I took other optional. Okay? Humanity optional, political science optional. So there is absolutely no issue. They ask you question, tell them the truth. Whatever is the truth, tell them that. And you will never be disadvantaged. UPSC panelists never ever, remember, have a thinking which will be adversarial to common sense. Okay? And one more thing I would like to say. Maximum engineers take humanity as their subject. Maximum engineers who qualify as well, not just engineer who doesn't qualify. तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है मानो, कभी इस चीज के लिए एकदम don't think. Okay, fine. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming to this session. And please, this is the very extraordinary time. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself. Everything is fine. If your health is not fine, things will not go north. Things will be south. So taking care of yourself is the utmost important thing in today's time. And I believe God bless you that you all should stay healthy. Family ka bhi dhyan rakhiyega, particularly people who are above 50 years of age. Fine. Thank you very much. We'll meet when the full-fledged classes will start. Okay? Chaliye. Thank you.